And then that call where they mentioned possible cancer, that was it. So Matt, my husband, he was like, right, got the case, quick. So I'm shouting at him, he's shouting at me. He's ripped the brand new case that we've bought. We were just beside ourselves. We were like, right, that's it, we're coming home.
So my people, not only have we been lucky enough to have Zoe bless us in the building today, we've also been blessed with Zoe's mum, Jo, to join us as well.
So welcome to the show, Mumsy. How's it going?
Hello, very well, thank you.
Yeah, looking very well.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful day for it.
Try and make an effort.
You've done a great job, you've done a great job. All right, so wanted to get straight into it, talk from your perspective of everything with Zoe and stuff. And I just had a nice little question of being a parent myself. And I know, like, with my daughter, she can scrape her knee or something like that, and I feel like I feel it. So just tell us, you know, a bit of how your emotions was when you first heard Zoe got the diagnosis.
Well, when we first found out she got the phone call, it was lymphoma, we were just totally shocked, because all along it wasn't going to be lymphoma, highly unlikely. So we were just like, wow, is this actually happening to us? So yeah, we all hugged in the lounge, didn't we? It was all
and when I first
tears.
found out it was something in my chest, she was on holiday.
Okay.
And I had to call her like, I keep getting dragged to this hospital. She was like, okay, well, keep me updated.
Yeah.
And then I think when the penny finally dropped and they basically said, you're looking at a cancer diagnosis, I was in hospital and I called her crying my eyes out, like, I was still pregnant obviously at this time. And Mum was just crying down the phone like, that's it, I'm getting a flight home. They quickly
We literally just me and my husband, the girl's stepdad, because it was like 4 days of phone calls from Zoe. I'm in A&E, they're checking my heart, they're doing this, okay, keep us posted. So we had to keep our phones with us, didn't want to go to the beach, it was too noisy, the waves, so we stayed by the pool, getting calls from Zoe. And then that call where they mentioned possible cancer, that was it. So Matt, my husband, he was like, right, got the case, quick. So I'm shouting at him, he's shouting at me. He's ripped the brand new case that we've bought. We were just beside ourselves. We were like, right, that's it, we're coming home. So we were just frantic, looked online, flight was going to be in 2 hours' time, and we just ran to reception. They got a cab, they got us there. We made the flight, we got back, ready to be with Zoe the following morning. We said, right, you guys come to the house, we're all going to compose and we're going to go for breakfast and we're all going to talk about it. That was September. And then December, end of December, was when we finally got the diagnosis after 3 biopsies. She had to have 3 biopsies in December. So she was practically living with us on and off through December because she needed time to recover. The needle ones, there was just a few days recovery, but obviously with the baby she needed help. So Zoe, Jo and the baby moved in part of December, and then the final diagnosis was the surgery biopsy. It took her 2 weeks to get over that one. That was major. So we had the baby.
So tell us a little bit more about that. You said obviously because Zoe moved in with you after being diagnosed. How was that for yourself?
So it was like bits and pieces in December through the biopsies, and that was fine. We were getting her through, helping her recover, just looking after the baby, looking after Zoe, just trying to stay focused really on looking after them and trying to be as upbeat as we could. I mean, Zoe's really good in herself. She's the most upbeat person. And then when we got the call and it was lymphoma, that was it. You know, we all hugged and cried and got a shock.
Back in.
There we go.
So we knew that she wasn't going to have it surgically removed, this mass. We knew it was then chemo. So 17th of Jan was the start date. So we were like, right, that's it. I think you went with Matt, had the consultation, and then Matt said, right, that's it. So you're going to live with us. So they lived with us from 17th of Jan, for about 3 months till mid-April. Mid-April.
So you said it's your husband that actually said.
Yeah, because obviously he was with her at the meeting. So it had to happen. I mean, there was no way. We didn't know what we were going to deal with. To be honest, I did picture the worst. I pictured every day Zoe being in bed, being sick, laying down, sleeping, crying, not coping. That's how I pictured it, because day one when she came home from her first round of chemo, it was 1 a.m. My God.
It was awful.
She was awful, felt sick, I'm going to be sick. I was like, my God, what are we going to do? So I was like massaging her feet, trying to relax her, anything I could do. Then you were sick, and then you calmed down and went to bed. So I was like, right, that's it. This is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
But amazingly, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was like on and off.
It was
different you'd have really
different
good days.
symptoms. Yeah.
And you just had to grasp the good days. Like when I said before, like they'd take me out on a walk, they'd get me out the house, even just for a drink or whatever, coffee or...
Some days she wouldn't want to go, no, I'm not up to it. No, you are, you're coming.
Yeah, they'd force me.
Go for a walk. And then she'd be like, please don't talk to anybody in the street because I really can't be bothered to talk to anybody.
Imagine,
obviously, we know a lot of people in our area. You can't walk down the high street without knowing somebody. Some days you were up for talking, but some days she'd be depressed and not want to go. But it was waves.
Up and down.
You know, there was one day ulcers, another day depression, another day headaches, another day
depressed,
not
don't
want
want
to
to talk to anyone.
Yeah, so
is that the first time you've experienced anything like that?
yeah.
You haven't had no one in your family or anyone close to you before?
No, touch wood.
That must have been like a lot for yourself then as well.
Just a complete shock. And luckily Zoe's doing this page, her lymphoma page, and it's educating all of us. She's reading out stories and we're all crying, like we're reading everybody else's
that we can relate to.
Stories, and everybody's been really kind, like strangers have been really kind, like people that don't know Zoe sending her crystals and
people sending me stuff to my house. To mum's house. We had a lot.
Amethyst crystals.
People were like, what's your address? I'd get like all these nice little goodie bags, or people would, you know, like you can get things on Etsy where people can bake you cookies and stuff, and strangers
donuts,
sending me, not friends,
lots of people. I work for myself. I work from home, so a lot of my ladies, they know my family. They've known the girls since they were young. You know, giving them gifts as well, and like talking. So that was therapy for me. So the odd bit of work that I was managing to do, I was talking to outsiders. So that helped me. I wasn't just talking to my other daughter, my husband, Zoe. So I had somewhere to go. So my ladies were my escapism, like chatting to them. And for Zoe, she is quite good. She does open up. She'll talk to us. She'll cry to us, and we all talk. But for her, I think her page was like therapy for her. Even though I wanted her to do counselling, I said, I think we should book in some counselling through this and after this, because then you worry about post-traumatic disorder.
Which I'm open to, but you know, when you just feel like, I actually feel like I'd do a good job without someone guiding me through, like a counsellor would.
I can relate to that.
I know that I would tell my mum or whoever if there was a problem, and we'd really get in conversation with how I feel and stuff. So at the time, I felt like I didn't need a counsellor. I'm definitely open to it because a lot of cancer survivors say, once you're in remission, people almost forget about you, and they're like, oh, she's finished now, it's done. But it's not. It's a lifelong battle. You're constantly going for checks. Your mental is delayed. So like maybe in 6 months' time, I'll start having PTSD, and like it's an ongoing thing. So I'm definitely open to it once I hit remission mark to just have that constant Macmillan counsellor that's gonna touch base on that situation without, you know.
And has that been put in place already?
You can just ring.
Okay.
But because I'm not on remission yet.
Is that free NHS?
Yeah, they offer that. And where I'm having radiation, I'm having that at UCL now, UCL Hospital, they actually have like a big Macmillan room where you can go in anytime you want, and there'll be nurses and counsellors there for you to talk to.
Well, now you mentioned that as well. So tell us, so you're having treatment coming up soon? Yeah,
so I did all my 6 chemos, and there was a little bit of activity left on the PET scan, and they basically can't tell you if that's cancer cells or not. They said it could be cancer or it could be inflammation, but the problem is we're not going to know, so we have to treat it like it's cancer. We can't. We just have to assume it is. So they've sent me for radiation. This is where it comes back into doing your own research. I would have just been sent for standard radiotherapy. I did my own research and found proton beam therapy, which is more of a targeted radiation to the tumour without trying to disturb all your organs and everything around it. So when my consultant said you need radiotherapy, I said, actually, can I have proton therapy? And he almost was a bit like, I don't actually know if I know what that is. I was like, he's quite old school, this doctor. He's you know, he's dealt with lymphoma patients forever, and he'll just send you for radiation. The sister hospital to mine is Oxford, and they don't do proton there. You only have proton in UCL Hospital and a hospital in Manchester. So 2 in the UK, and that's it. And you have to have your case pitched to the proton centre, and they either accept you or they don't. So I got accepted. And that's because of me.
It's expensive.
I chose that place.
It's expensive on the NHS, and not everybody.
And not every cancer can have it either.
So
she qualified, maybe it's a young girl and...
Because you made that happen.
Yeah.
But like, so do you think the average person who goes through the situation you're in, you just get like a generic?
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh, okay,
crazy.
that's what I need, so that's fine. Which is fine. Radiotherapy of all types all has the same side effects, same whatever, but proton therapy is more targeted, so it reduces side effects, reduces secondary cancers later on in life and stuff.
I think it's been there a couple of years, UCLH. It's
2021.
Right.
Oh,
But it's being used worldwide.
I'm just thinking, why hasn't that been brought to the table?
Yeah.
If it's less side
And they are
effects.
looking for custom.
They said
They said to Zoe, they're not at their full quota.
Yeah.
But because it's because it's free, because it's NHS, where's that funding coming from? Do you think it's to do with something to do with that?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not going to
maybe.
send you. Yeah, I suppose it's more expensive. It is more expensive on the NHS, so I doubt every single doctor's going to go to UCL for proton. Just keep going there, keep going there.
Yeah.
There's also not long load of evidence behind proton therapy for later on in life and stuff.
Okay.
It's been used for years and years worldwide, but not in the UK. So they need their own research, their own data. So I actually had to sign a thing to say, like, they'll probably keep contacting you every 5-10 years to check how you're getting on, bring you in for breast screening earlier, because I'm having radiation to the chest area.
So that's in a week's time now, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'll start that. I'm booked in for 3 weeks worth of that.
3 weeks, okay.
Yeah, every single day.
Every day, Monday to
Friday,
Monday
for
to
3
Friday.
weeks.
Oh, wow.
15 sessions. You're there max an hour.
Yep.
And you then have to wait 3 months to have your final scan to check if I'm cancer free or not, because they need to check it's worked. They can't scan you a week later because they could declare you cancer free and then it grow back in a week. So they need you to have a
Settle
wait
down.
Yeah, let it all chill out
For a week. Yeah.
for 3 months.
For 3 months.
So you won't get your results back till
Nope,
3 months.
Till 3 months after it's finished.
Yeah, I'll finish in July, end of July, and the scan will probably be October. And then they'll probably tell you the day after if you're cancer free or not. They'll call you in.
So mentally, you've got to be extremely strong for it.
Yeah, the wait.
Lots of delays. That's the downside of it.
I'm pretty positive now, though.
Yeah.
I think this will work. Yeah.
Well, going back to you, Mum. Obviously, Zoe's explained with the whole waiting process and stuff. How did you find? What was your processing of every time something was waiting and every time you was waiting to hear some new information? I mean, obviously you got Zoe and the family all in the house, but what was when you were by yourself? Was there anything that you kept to yourself and didn't want to say to nobody because you just didn't want to?
Yeah, sometimes I'd say to my other half, I'd say, you know, I am worrying. Like occasionally, you go sort of through waves. A couple of weeks, no one's crying. We've all got jobs to do, right? I'm baby today. You know, Liana, can you help me for an hour in your lunch break? Can you just babysit while I do a client? So everybody's got jobs to do. So you're all sort of focused. But then occasionally I would get a bit teary and I would say to Matt, I am really worried. Like her cheeks look really red today because that's a sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, he's really good. He's just like, just calm, don't jump the gun.
Yeah.
You know, it's all positive what they're
he's
saying.
really level-headed.
He's quite positive.
Yeah, he's good with stuff like that.
But a lot of the time I'm just focused and get my jobs done. I'm possessed.
Yeah, because we had the baby, like...
Sometimes I'm shouting, right, who's left that there? I haven't got time, you know.
Yeah.
Busy, this baby, you know, just hanging off me all day.
And what about for yourself? Did you get checked or anything? Have you
No.
Have you thought about anything like that?
No. No, I suppose I'm comfortable talking to my other half and like I said, my own ladies, my own clients, you know, I do a lot of talking, they all ask questions.
Yeah, I feel like you're quite good like that as well.
I cry to them, they cry, you know, they know us really well.
Yeah.
But what about
So
in terms
that's
of like
helped.
health checks and anything like that? Because obviously you only found out because you was pregnant and you was getting
Yeah.
Well, they said lymphoma isn't actually genetic.
Okay.
It's just my sister, my daughter, is more at risk than the average person to having any type of cancer, not just lymphoma, because me and my sister Liana have the same genes, and my daughter obviously comes from me. That's it. Obviously, Mum, we're only related by half.
Yeah.
So me and Liana are full, same blood, and obviously my daughter is mine.
My nan had breast cancer in her 80s, so she's the only one in the whole family, my mum's mum, that was diagnosed. She was about 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I suppose I have to be careful because it is on mum's side. Usually when it's your mum's side.
Right.
And I'm
But she
50.
didn't do chemo or anything, did she? Hers was
no,
just
because she was
breast
too
removal.
old. It was just removal and
Yeah.
the radiotherapy she had.
Yeah,
targeted,
yeah.
So do you think that's why it was kind of dismissed in the beginning? Like, because obviously we normally think
No
of
history in the
elderly, like-
family. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They just kept saying cystic fluid sac, very cystic.
Yeah, when they say the word cyst, do you think that means it's not cancerous? Like,
Yeah.
because the word
Okay.
cyst doesn't have the same effect in your brain than the word tumour.
We
Yeah.
and
But that doesn't
highly
matter.
unlikely 1% lymphoma. So we were all positive. It's a cystic sac. It's scarring, and I thought.
Yeah.
I sort of kept saying to myself, it was when Zoe was 3. She was hospitalised. When you're a baby, you have your vaccines, and you have the Hib jab, HIB,
Yeah.
and that's a vaccine against Haemophilus influenza bacteria. So she had the jab, but she got the disease. So she was hospitalised for 5 years, and it squeezed.
5 years?
Sorry,
5 years?
Hospitalised for 5 years?
5 days.
5 days, right?
And she,
Okay, I
it
can picture that
squeezed,
now. Okay,
squeezed
yeah,
her
right.
vocals.
Poor Zoe, she's been 5 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, God.
She had a squeaky voice, and it can affect the respiratory. Luckily, it didn't go too far with her.
They thought it was that.
And I thought,
They did, my mum,
I'm
my
thinking
family.
scarring, down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarring, it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. That's what I believed it was going to be.
And what about in terms of like Zoe and how she was day to day? Obviously living with you as well.
Yeah.
What did you see a lot of changes in Zoe, like physically, emotionally,
Yeah,
mentally as well?
Well, physically, right at the beginning, you lost a lot of weight, didn't you? Just right at
Yeah,
the start.
after I
As soon
gave
as
birth.
she gave birth, she lost 2
Tiny.
stone in 2-3 weeks. We were like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
And then once the chemo had started, the steroids, they kept her awake. I think
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of the nights you came downstairs at 1-2 in the morning making toast. So
Yeah.
you started to gain weight through the steroids.
Yeah, they told me I was going to put on weight, which I
She
have from steroids.
She would want to keep eating.
It was
So
just
she'd eaten at 10,
3 in the
11,
morning.
and then she'd eat after. So, but then some days you wouldn't have an appetite, but generally your appetite was there. So you have gained. And they
Thanks.
say, well, just being honest.
Honestly, as bad as it sounds, when they told me I had cancer, I said, so am I going to lose more weight? And in my head I was thinking, please say yes. Because no one wants to put on weight.
Yeah, yeah.
I just had a baby, I was thinking I'd like to keep it, And they said, no, sorry, you're going to put on weight. I was like, great.
And I've gained weight through the process because of the stress and the anxiety of it. I found myself just going to the sweet drawer every day, twice a day. So I put on about 9-10 pounds. So I lost the plot as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So like obviously when we go under stress, which was obviously a lot under stress, we turn to them vices like
Eating.
you said, eating or any bad habits and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is it's interesting.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And it becomes addictive. Once you start,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one chocolate bar, another one the next day.
Yeah.
Within 3 or 4 days, that is it. I'm just hooked.
So you
Yeah.
found yourself having a pattern with it? Because obviously you was...
Yeah, I'd probably go to that drawer during the day. I don't know, like 2, 3, and then I'd want something after dinner.
She'd be going, girls.
Relate to this.
Yeah.
Relate to
But
this.
she would be getting it out and moaning that she was getting it out. I was
Yeah.
like, put it back
Yeah.
then. She was like,
You
I
still didn't
can't.
know. Yeah.
And she's like, get it
Temptation.
out.
And even like jelly type sweets, we didn't really have them. Obviously, your Joe likes all that. They were in the drawer. I found myself eating those, like
Yeah.
Haribos
And you don't
the
even like them
fizzy
that much.
ones. I was like, this is really bad.
So now you're stealing sweets as well.
It was getting like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some days, joking aside, the days where the depression did kick in, she was down. They're the days she wouldn't want to pick up the baby
yeah.
and seeing her cry. And then one day she's crying, so I'm hugging her. My sister's popped in now, so my sister's a freelance hairdresser, so she was in between clients, so she just popped in to say hello and have a sandwich or whatever. She's at my sink doing whatever. Oh, I think she's helping me prepare my dinner because she could see I was talking to Zoe. So she said, look, I've got a bit of time, shall I start? So that was really nice. It was like all hands on deck.
Yeah.
I was really grateful for that because even though I hadn't worked all day, I only had a baby, still, for someone to prepare my dinner, that was like, thank you so much.
yeah.
Even your friend brought you around dinner a few times.
And I had,
for all of us.
had some friends bring cakes
Yeah.
and dinner. One of my friends
Because all
brought
the
a big
pressure
tray.
was on mum, all of
Yeah.
it. Like she had the
That's
baby
interesting.
and
Yeah, yeah. It was
everyone's
such
at
a big
work.
help.
All the men's at work. So
It was a big help, but she was doing something at the sink, so I'm hugging Zoe. Obviously, she didn't
Yeah, I was
see.
crying.
To be fair to her, she wasn't watching, And then she's going, so Joe, what did you want lemon in this?
She's like, Joe, do you want lemon? Do you want? And I'm like,
I'm not answering.
and Mum's just like holding my legs, and she's going, Joe.
Do you want lemon? She's like turning round.
And she went, Maria. Zoe is crying.
I was like, Maria, there's a situation here. So I was like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you have lemon in it then?
Yeah,
I had lemon. I don't even know what.
I don't remember what we were having now.
And then one day, Liana, my other daughter, so she's 21, so this was when Zoe was depressed, and I turned around, and then Liana's crying. So I said, why are you crying? What's wrong? She said, because I've never seen Zoe like that. That's not her. So it upset her. So you have to be careful because it affects everybody.
Yeah.
You know, when I had to tell my sisters, this is what's happening, you know, and they're all in shock and crying.
Tell us more about that. How was that breaking the news to like different family members?
Well, the day you found out it was lymphoma,
I was at home by myself, so
Getting
I had
close,
to.
weren't you?
Yeah,
Getting
I
close.
said to Joe, "How on earth am I going to tell my mum?" Like, I think that's the biggest thing. You don't want to upset anybody because you don't want them to think you're going to die. Like, and that's what it is. That is what it is. The second you get told you've got cancer, you're like, "Am I going to die?" That's the question you need to ask.
it's just that word
and
as soon as you
everyone,
hear.
that's why everybody cries when you tell them you've got cancer. It's not because of any other reason, I don't think. I feel like that's the initial shock. Are they going to be fine?
There's a lot of stigma against that word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody associates it with
Death.
Yeah.
and meningitis because they thought it was meningitis.
Right.
As soon as she told me that word, that was it. I lost the plot.
Yeah.
And then the woman said, we treat many children with meningitis. You just read the horror stories. Please, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But that's not what you read.
Now I've had cancer and I know it firsthand. If I got told it now, I wouldn't think I was going to die.
But that's what I was going to ask you. What's your opinion on
I've
that?
had it firsthand now.
Yeah.
But you could never prep anybody enough for a cancer diagnosis for them to not think they're going to die.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
They have to just ride the wave and just digest it first, like how I did, and learn as you go, and then they won't feel like that anymore.
So you don't think there's any way of breaking that stigma?
I honestly don't, because unless that doctor's going to turn around there and then and go, this is what you've got diagnosed, your prognosis is this, you've got 99% chance of living, your treatment's going to be awful but you're going to get through it, and these are the medications we're going to give you. If they overloaded you with all of that amazing information, you probably would leave there feeling positive that you're not going to die, the stigma is, but they don't do that.
So why don't you think they don't? Why don't they do that?
Sometimes when they give you the diagnosis, they don't have the full diagnosis or the whole information as a whole. They're waiting for the other biopsy to come back. They can just tell you it's lymphoma, and then you'll have to wait another week to tell you what lymphoma. I then had to wait and ask what stage I was. So in that way, you're like, am I stage 4? Am I this? Am I? You don't know. It's sometimes they don't give you it all there and then because they don't want to withhold the information that you actually got cancer. So they tell you first, and then. But yeah, so I'm sure there are some people in the world that had that first initial diagnosis, and that consultant turned around and said to them, "But your prognosis is this. It's amazing," and that person probably did leave there feeling a lot better than I did because I didn't know anything yet.
So do you reckon? What about if it was the process of? Obviously, you said you was assigned someone after being diagnosed.
Yeah.
So what about if the doctor assigned someone and then they spoke to you? They spoke to you. That would surely help a little bit.
It probably would
with all the
help.
information together.
It's just so hard because mine was near Christmas and I knew everybody was going on holiday, and obviously the surgeon was dealing with me first. They didn't think it was blood cancer. So once they told me it was, I'm now referred to blood cancer. I think if they kind of knew it was going to be blood cancer, I would have already been on their list. But they told me I had a 1% chance. So my diagnosis was all over the place. They probably didn't think I was ever going to need to be referred because all their opinions were that it wasn't. So the way I got told everything was just
It was all
so when I told the family, it was awful. Everyone was crying. I think that was at the pub. You called him to come home.
Yeah.
He come home, obviously he understood what was going on.
You organised for the cousins to come over that evening.
Was they already coming? I felt like
Were they already coming?
I don't remember. I think everybody was already coming.
Yeah.
They was.
It was
all
a
our family
Friday
for some reason
night.
were coming.
Yeah, all the first cousins. They're all like in a.
I thought I'm just going to have to say it's not a secret at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
So then I thought, well, I'll tell my two sisters to come as well. Do they want to come round for coffee? And then we'll tell them.
the hard part for me was telling mum. The easy part was telling everybody else. So
You say it's not a secret. A lot of people feel like they keep it as a secret.
For me, it wasn't, but yes, I feel like a lot of people hide it from social media, first of all, which I think is fine. I don't think you have to put it on social media. But yeah, some people would either keep it to themselves for a few days. Some people do that. They let it digest. I've heard that firsthand. People have messaged me and said, I kept it to myself for a few days before I told whoever.
And also it's because once it's out there and you tell people, you're constantly getting messages then.
Yeah.
So it's whether you're mentally ready to keep replying to all these messages coming in.
I was going to ask you that. So how is that? Because there's a lot of information and questions always coming at you through social media.
Yes.
How do you deal with that?
So for me, because I work from home and I do beauty clients, so I have people physically coming in my door.
Yep.
When I got told there's something in my chest and I've got a long road ahead of me, I kept getting pulled in different directions to different hospitals. I would get a random call, like, can you come here in the next hour? And I'd have a full day of clients, so I'd have to cancel them.
Yeah.
So for me, unfortunately, I had to keep people in the loop when I didn't want to from day one, because I kept having to move people's appointments. So I had to publicly say on my work page, unfortunately I've got a bit of a health issue at the moment, so everybody's appointments are sort of up in the air. I keep getting pulled into hospital, so a lot of your appointments are going to have to be moved around. So that already started speculation, but I had no choice because I had about 12 girls a day coming to my house. I had to keep moving everybody. So everyone was waiting, what is wrong with Zoe? Or her baby. I think everyone thought it was the baby because I was pregnant. That was frustrating for me because I thought I could have dealt with this within my circle if it wasn't for my job. Until I got the diagnosis, then it would have been public knowledge because I wanted to make that lymphoma page.
And the page she does now, the lymphoma page, is really good because when we all first found out and she'd put a message out there, I can't even remember what the message was, like they found a mass or whatever. Part of me was a bit, oh, Zoe, did you have to do that now? I wasn't ready for now all my family and friends to start messaging me because we'd only just found out. So I was a bit, oh, great. But then when she then started to do the page and then she was doing updates on that page, that was great then because then all my friends and family and clients, they all started to follow. And they even say to me, look, I hope you don't mind that I'm not constantly messaging you about Zoe. I do follow her story. Honestly, absolutely fine.
Because I was going to ask, is it overwhelming? Because obviously, like, you got a nice big social circle. Was there any times you was getting frustrated if you felt like you had to repeat in the same thing all the time?
Not really. I mean, there were some days where there was quite a lot of messages and sometimes you would leave them to the next day. And people are generally fine with that. They wouldn't demand a text reply immediately. But everyone's just concerned, and is that if there's anything we can do, there's probably nothing I can do, but if you can think of anything, please tell me. So everyone was just being really kind.
So we can obviously see, like, you've had a tight bond before. Obviously you said when you was growing up, you know, there was a little bit of bias. But do you feel like this situation has brought you lot like a deeper bond? That you could
probably has, would you say? It's been nice that we've had the baby for all those months as well. And obviously she gets upset sometimes, like, God, I wonder what it's like to have a baby where you haven't got all these issues. You know, I feel like I haven't really enjoyed my baby. And I said, but think about it. It's been nice because you've dipped in and out when you want. You know, you haven't been that new mum that's been bogged down and all of that. So you've had help. We've all been positive bubble around. The baby's kept us all upbeat, laughing, joking. Oh God, look what she's doing now. Look, you know, constantly all upbeat. So that was nice. That's a nice thing, Zoe, that we've managed to share that together, all together.
I guess you wouldn't have seen Zoe's daughter as well as much.
I probably would have. I mean, obviously, I help babysit. Like Zoe wants to work a couple of days. I help there, babysit. So I probably would be going around a couple of times a week, or she'd come to us. But to have her every day, it was lovely because Zoe was adamant that she was going to keep her baby in their room at night. Through the whole thing,
I had her every night.
They managed to do through the whole thing, apart from chemo days, where she would come home dead.
You'd have her.
Me and Matt would have her in our room that night and possibly the next night, but all the way through, as soon as she would wake up, luckily the baby started sleeping through around 3 months, which was great.
Helped.
So as soon as she woke up at 6:30, Zoe would ring me, she's awake. She's awake, come and get her, half asleep. So I'd go in, grab her.
Because Ophelia would wake up, which is a good thing. She doesn't cry when she wakes up. She starts like playing and like
Just
going
lifting her head.
and
Yeah.
that's so annoying when you're so tired.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
why are you in a good
Because
mood?
Zoe got her best. You got
I'm
her
not in a good
best-
mood.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got
yeah.
your best sleep
After.
from 6:30 to say 10:30,
Yeah.
and then Zoe would come down. So she needed that 4 hours because you would have restless sleep.
Yeah, you'd be ill
sometimes
in
through the
the
chemo, and also you do hear the baby. They make so many noises through. I mean, me and Matt, my God, the first night we were just like, she's asleep but noisy. We're like,
Yeah.
God. So how many times did we keep getting up, looking over? One day I headbutted him because I'm looking, then he's looking. Is she breathing? Is she okay? Because
You know, through the chemo, you didn't work through the chemo, did you?
No.
No.
No, I was going to say you can't work
And
through the chemo,
yeah,
right?
you're at risk
No.
for sepsis.
sepsis,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
you're at
Okay.
risk of like going hospital and
infections.
all your bloods are all the way down. So I couldn't go. You couldn't go to like Westfield. You couldn't go shopping. If we went to eat out anywhere, it would just be like a panini and a coffee outside the
Yeah.
coffee. So you're. It's honestly the same as COVID. If you had COVID, you have to shield from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing when you are going through chemo. You
Right.
cannot be in contact with too many people. So
Probably 2-3 weeks when chemo finished, you said, I think I'm ready, I'll do the odd day.
Yep.
So I would go to Zoe's, babysit, she'd work in her workroom just so she could get
you
a
don't
bit of
feel
money.
well enough either.
How does
like-
that feel,
Yes.
though, going back to work?
It's the best thing ever.
Bit of normality.
Work for me isn't work. Like, I love it. I've
Yeah.
built it myself from literally 16, 17 years old. And it's a social thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, and girls come in feeling insecure about, obviously I did their makeup, so they feel insecure and then you make them feel amazing after. And it's just the best, it's like the best job to have, like making someone feel good when they leave your
Yeah.
And
house.
again, it's chat, isn't it? You're talking
Yeah.
about it more. The more you talk
I
about
put that
it.
first before my own health. Hence why I declined the ambulance when, because obviously that lady was in my chair, weren't she? And they said, I'm sending an ambulance to your house. And I said,
Yeah.
no. And I declined it because I always put work before me. Now
Yeah.
it's taught me.
So obviously the line of work you're in, and you're speaking to a lot of girls, you probably help them with a lot of their problems day to
Yes.
day. Do you think that as a that's probably why you've gone on and done your page as well?
Yeah.
You're sort of like, it's in you
I
to
just, yeah, it's in me to help
Yeah.
others. And like I said, I made that page for people to help me first because
Yeah.
I was uneducated. I just had this diagnosis, didn't know anything about it, found other people that had it before me or way ahead of me in their treatment. Now I'm educated on it and I'm near the other end now. It's important to me to continue helping other people because that's what they did for me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Full
I guess
circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
From the people for the people.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, loved it. Yeah. You know, just touching back on, you know, mum being great and a pillar of strength and everything throughout this process. I mean, like, it's very difficult. I mean, Zoe's been talking about great things about you before you come. But,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Zoe.
Hard to believe.
Well, I think it is important. Obviously, like, we're here to give you your flowers and everything, and let you know that you are strong, courageous, and the real true definition
Thank
of
you.
a mother. So, I don't know.
Both of you.
Definitely.
Yes, you
Thank
are.
you.
Yeah, 100.
Oh yeah, I'm mum as well. Sorry. I forgot.
I thought, hopefully we're not going to cry today. Actually, me and Zoe cried last week, didn't we? As soon as the baby sat in her new walker for the first time.
She just smiled in this walker and we just.
She was
cried.
just like,
Emotional women.
oh, what is this? She looked a bit wary, and then she smiled and took a little step back in it, and then we just both
We're
lost
actually
it.
quite emotional
Yeah.
people.
She goes, is this what it's like when you're a mum? I said, yes, unfortunately.
You cry at anything.
But have you always been emotional together?
You are.
Not so much together.
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah, not
not.
together.
We're actually not very like.
We're not like huggy, lovey.
Or like,
Okay.
oh my god, I love you so much. I feel like this journey has made us
Bit
a bit
more sort of
like
huggy,
that.
lovey. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm a more sort of colder person.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just matter of fact. I'm just like, right. I'm a mum. You need feeding.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you clean your room, tidy. I do all my job,
Yeah.
so maybe lack a bit more in the
Yeah.
empathy.
Okay.
Which
Yeah.
she's said in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like.
That
there
was
for
one of my
results.
big issues
You wanna-
with mum,
You want
like-
to get the job done.
But I said, well, I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah, I can't be good at everything. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people, and sometimes we would row. When she was adolescent, unruly, wouldn't accept no. Well, please forgive me that I'm not
Yeah.
going to hug you every time because we just rowed yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Takes
a learning
time,
curve, though.
yeah.
It's a learning
Yeah,
curve.
yeah.
it's time to
Definitely.
recover.
Definitely. So you're gonna have all of this action
Well,
when
yeah.
the little one grows up.
That's what I mean. I think you learn from your parents, though, don't you? Like what you
Definitely.
would and wouldn't do with your own
if your daughter's
child.
gonna start shouting at you, I wonder.
But I was the
It's all coming
defiant
out now.
child.
Mine's beginning to do that. Like she's just turned 13, and
That's
beginning to
the
be
age.
like my mum.
13.
Good luck.
And I'm like watching things like with my mum would say, take that off the coffee table. Now I'm the one that's saying, get that off the coffee
Yeah.
table. I really didn't care
That's
about the
a really
coffee table.
hard
You know what I'm saying?
13,
So,
hormones, anxiety. It's hard.
She might be alright.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
So did Zoe put you through the paces then?
Yes.
Yeah, she was probably, there's always a child that consumes you. It would be Zoe. The other one, she wasn't as
She's laid
the
back.
same. She's more laid
Yeah.
back.
I
didn't
was
really have-
defiant with
She was the
everything.
one with the anxiety. But why? But why can't I do that? But why? So she was always the one that had to sort of,
I was always in
Test
trouble
you.
in school, and what I used to hate was Mum would always listen to the teacher. You know, when the teacher
Oh, I
calls,
backed the teacher.
Yeah, she would
100%.
never. Maybe some other parents would with their. I'd see that they'd be like to the teacher, no, my child wouldn't do that, and I used to want her to be like that, and she never. If the school
They would ring me.
yeah, then
your
she'd
English
be like,
teacher.
right, I'm taking your phone.
I said, if that guy rings me again, because he was probably ringing me twice a month, saying she's not being rude, she's just a little bit unruly, turning round, disruptive. So I said, right, if he rings me again, that's it, the phone's going. And I said, just be quiet in his class. That's just simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn round and antagonise.
You love
Just
to
listen.
speak to the people though, that's what it is.
That's,
Yeah.
It's now what you do best, right?
Yeah,
There
I
we
was
go.
like born to not.
Be
Like,
quiet.
She's not very good having a
Yeah,
boss.
yeah, yeah.
She's not
Yeah.
good with a boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's had bosses.
Yeah.
You went to home base
Yeah.
and
Okay, I was like 14.
Hair and
And she
Beauty.
forced me to work there.
Yeah.
she's just not good
I can relate
having
to that
a
though.
boss.
Some people are just not,
Yeah.
not cut out to be told what to do.
Yeah, when I don't want to do something, I
Yeah.
don't want to be told to do it.
And now you've got your own business.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Why?
Yes, it suits you being your
Yeah,
own
the
boss.
same way I actually found it hard being a child because you have to be told what to do. Like
Yeah,
your mum
yeah.
and dad tells you what to do.
Yeah.
You can't do certain things. And I actually struggled with that because I'd always want to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm an adult, I have my own house and my own daughter. I actually feel more like this is what I was born to be this age.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I just could not grasp being a child and being told what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting conversation actually.
Yeah.
I bet we all feel like that a little bit.
Well, I've got it done midway through it right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but that defiance thing, I've been told that before.
Yeah.
I don't personally think that,
Yeah.
but maybe there is something because Mum has
Yeah.
just exposed some of the things you were doing. I'm just like, hey, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect authority.
Yeah, don't
Boss,
like that.
Your teacher.
Yeah, I've got none of that in me either now. as
I
well.
think you have to respect somebody that respects you,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for everything.
no
yeah.
matter the age. And I hated
Yeah.
that, like respect your elders.
Yeah.
Respect your elders. Respect. Yeah. I just think I think it has to be reciprocated.
Well,
no matter
yeah,
the
no,
age.
1,000,000%.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into that then. Well, since we talked about school, we're gonna test your brain now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, God, yeah. Help us out, Liana.
You ready? So, my people, it's that part of the show where we play a quiz with our guests and put them in the hot seat to test their general knowledge. It's time to bring the energy.
Well, okay, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
What is the hottest continent on the earth?
Continent Africa.
All right.
Go on, Zoe.
Alright then.
Wow, Zoe.
There we go. What?
Well, Mum, you must have known that.
I think
though.
I actually failed
she knew
geography
that.
as well, so that
Yeah.
was good.
Jesus.
I wasn't even
See,
in
the
geography,
word
to be honest.
wasn't. The problem with that question was what made me think was I don't know continents.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Okay.
a country.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well
luckily
done.
I said the right one.
Yeah.
So we're on a roll. All right, so let's go into number 2. Which singer was known amongst the others as the King of Pop?
Oh,
Michael Jackson.
There you go.
There we go.
One for one.
Yeah.
We're on fire. Go on.
2 out of 2 right now. There you go. Okay, next question.
Oh.
How many eyebrow hairs does an average person have?
this is my job. I should know this.
Yeah.
and I don't.
we know that.
Average. Okay, that's a
there we go.
really good question. I've never heard that question in my life. Okay, maybe
10,000.
no. 412.
20 seconds is ticking.
Wait, one eyebrow or both together?
Eyebrow hairs
Eyebrows.
together.
Oh, both of them. Okay, I'm gonna say then 1,675.
What?
That's a bushy eyebrow, you know. That is some bushy
Yeah.
eyebrow.
600.
Oh, we get it.
7. Oh, 450.
387.
Oh, that was a close.
282.
Ah,
208.
ah,
263.
175.
260.
240.
240.
Oh,
250.
Hey. That was over 20
That's
seconds.
terrible.
that's
Don't teach
I thought
beautician.
you had that.
Never
I thought you were going to have that in the bag.
I thought that.
Okay.
I thought you was gonna be like.
Also depends on the age of the person.
Yeah, it's the average
23,
person.
Oh my god, I rolled
Yeah,
for 1,000.
Less hair.
That's really bad.
We tried though.
When you look at
We got
1,000, I'm
you
like,
said
that's a
what?
bushy
Someone
eye.
said
bro.
4,000
That's a bushy
something.
eye,
No.
bro.
That
Alright,
is actually such a good question though.
On to the next one. In the zodiac signs, which animal is linked with Capricorn?
I'm not a Capricorn. Is it a deer thing? Is
that you, Leon?
You might as well
A
go.
bull?
Is
it a bull?
Capricorn?
A bull what?
No, cheating.
Think of the other farm animals.
A cow?
No.
No, but you better.
What's called?
Yeah, yeah.
What's got horns?
It's a bull.
Liana, you should
Tick,
know.
tock, tick.
What is it? What's the animal?
You can throw
boar.
it. You can throw it in a curry.
No.
That's the clue. You can throw it in a curry.
A goat.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
What?
Curry goat. Yeah, there we
Curry goat.
go.
That tastes nice.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Some, yeah.
Wow.
Each to their own. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a Capricorn.
There we go.
I don't think none of us are after that.
Are you
yeah,
a
'cause we
Capricorn?
don't.
Oh, did you know the answer to that question? Right.
Shame on you.
Next question. So, what is the 13th letter in the alphabet?
M? L?
First one. First one. First one.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Yeah, you got it.
it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, here we go. By weight, what percentage of the human body is water? A, 60%, B, 70%, or C, 80%?
80.
70.
Can we do that?
Nah.
Can we do that?
It's not even a 20-second one.
You
is
haven't
it?
even got it yet. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Last one.
Because you only got
Last
three
chance.
options, yeah, your last chance.
Wait,
So
we
it's
got it
none of
wrong.
them.
60,
60.
70. There we go. 60.
Oh, so we got it wrong.
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it was higher.
Yeah.
I did as
60%.
well. Because the
Okay.
doctors
That
always
makes
saying, oh, your
sense.
body's made up
Yeah,
mainly
mainly
of water.
water. Okay.
So, I don't know, that's what the cards say.
Yeah, the cards.
Alright,
The
go
card
on.
says it. That's
Card
right.
says it.
Just go
And the
with
cards
it.
we trust.
Someone's going to be in the comments and be like, you was wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Which is the most flexible muscle in the body?
Flexible muscle.
Your arms, bicep,
No, it's a
Muscle.
muscle.
and bicep.
Flexible. Stretchy.
Well, you do, don't you?
Would you
is it
say
your
a
leg?
thigh muscle?
I'll give you a clue. You're using it right now.
Brain.
Brain.
No.
No.
It's not a muscle.
No. When you're.
Wait. I'm using it now.
Yeah,
now
you're
you
using
are.
it.
Your mouth.
Yes!
There you go.
I'm like, now you are. Yeah.
Yes!
All
That's
right.
a trick
okay.
question.
Okay, this one's good. When new babies cry, do they produce tears? Is it true or false?
It's
False.
false, they don't.
I want to know why you said that though. You're right.
It's a new.
but-
Oh, right.
She
Yeah,
never
you're
had
right.
tears.
Wait,
Your
what?
baby, a
The
newborn.
tear ducts don't.
They're not developed enough.
developed yet.
Really?
That's why you lot
Same
got
for
pregnant.
sweat. They don't sweat until a bit later.
Is it
Yeah.
after like 8 weeks or something? There'll be a tear.
Yeah, they don't have tears straight away because their tear ducts hasn't
So
developed.
technically they're just shouting.
They just
They just
cry,
cry.
but there's no actual
yeah,
tear.
they're crying
So
but no
when they
tears.
say baby tears, do they say, is that a saying? Baby tears?
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't even know about that.
There
I've
But
heard of crocodile tears.
crocodile tears. Okay, all right then. Okay. Then it wasn't baby tears. Baby tears don't exist then.
No.
So what age? You know?
I don't know, but
8 weeks or
it's
so.
early.
8
They
weeks,
do
12
get
weeks
tears
maybe?
quite early.
Yeah,
tear.
later on.
Same with sweat. They can't regulate their body temperature, so they don't sweat
Really?
later on. Yeah.
That's mad.
That's a big jam. So when you start, you know.
I'm good for now. I'm alright. I leave that look to you for now. I'm good. Okay, so the next part of the quiz is going to be like spelling. We're going to be checking your spelling. Are you any good with spelling?
Are you gonna tell us to
really.
spell onomatopoeia?
We're going to something
Could
like
be.
that. It might be in there,
Could
it
be.
might not. Are you any good at spelling?
Not bad.
Yeah.
It depends what. Let's see.
Okay, first word. Do you want to go first, Trizzy?
Yeah. Maneuver.
MANOURV.
No.
ER.
Next one. Go again.
M-A-N.
Let me do it.
Yeah,
okay.
M-A-N.
Yeah.
Yeah.
M-A-N-O-U-V.
No. M-A-N. M-A-N-U-R-V-E.
M-A-N.
You're almost there, you know. You're almost there.
Luva. Write it.
What?
20 seconds.
M-A-N. O-O-V. What?
O-U? Isn't it an O-U? M-A-N-O-U? No.
Nah, I know why you would
Something
say
in between.
R. M-A-N-O-R.
that 20 seconds is close.
Yeah, she's out of it.
What is it?
M-A-N-O-E.
There's an E in it.
V.
Yeah, you was right.
E.
It's nearly right.
Close though.
I wouldn't have
I wouldn't know where
written
to start with
I
that one
would have
anyway,
written it wrong.
so
You're saying stop at the N. M-A-N.
I'll stop it at the A.
That's why I hate you and say
Okay,
Hoover.
next word. Fahrenheit.
F-A-R.
Nah.
What? That was delayed. F-A-H.
Yep.
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
Yep.
E.
Yep.
Yeah.
Double N.
N.
Yeah.
H. I.
Yeah.
E-I-T.
H.
Huh?
E-I-T at the end.
Yes.
E-I-T at the end.
You say it, go on.
H-E-I-T.
There we go. We
So you
got
weren't
it.
that bad in school.
Well
You
done.
think-
Good, Zoe.
English I was good at.
Yeah.
And that was the teacher that was giving you the most
Yeah,
problems.
yeah.
That's because he ended up leaving and she got a new English teacher and then she excelled.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
he
probably
was,
made him
he
make
the
was
relationship
part,
with the teacher.
He was
Yeah.
part of the
Oh,
problem.
right then.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not what you're learning, it's who's teaching you.
The
Yeah.
teacher was just not, he didn't have enough energy and
Okay.
passion.
He was quite timid and we all used to walk all over him.
There we go.
All of us were very boisterous and like loud and
You made him quit his job.
we made him, I think we did. No joke. Now I look back I feel bad. But at the time we were like, he's not fit enough to like handle secondary school children. I could
done
imagine him being a
elementary.
primary school teacher.
Yeah. That might wrap it up. So, it's giving me a bit of this as well now. Claustrophobia.
Oh, I have that as well. C-L-A-U-S-T-R-O-P-H-I. No. P-H.
P-H-O.
B-I-A.
Yeah.
B-I-A?
B-I- yeah, B-I-A, yes.
Correct. Right, okay.
Yes, smashed it.
Good, well
There we
done.
go.
Yeah. Kind of blew it out of the park, to be honest.
Yeah, that was.
Good. You passed.
That was easier than I thought.
No, you just passed that part.
I'm embarrassed on the
There we
eye
go.
dry question.
We got another bit. We got another bit. No one's finished yet.
Yeah.
So, people, now we're going to get into this part of the quiz where we are going to test the knowledge on their flags. So, you want good with flags?
No.
No.
Terrible. I'm gonna really embarrass myself.
Have you been on many holidays together?
No. I think we've only done Cyprus and Egypt and Tunisia. And I couldn't even tell you what a Tunisian flag looks like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, well, let's give it a go. I think they'll do all right.
Yeah, I reckon you got this in the bag.
Okay.
I don't think
No,
we do.
I
But let's
don't really,
go.
I don't really pay attention to flags.
You got 20 seconds anyway.
Okay.
Just to let you know, yeah. But that's way too long for you anyway, because
Yeah,
you'll know
it
straight
actually
away,
is
right?
quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, let's get it. First flag.
I think I know what this one is. I want to say it's Finland. What would you say? Or
America?
Sweden? No!
That close. What are you saying?
No, that's not. Are you joking?
Camera needs to go to her face over there.
Hang on. You said that was a
You're in
close
the right. No, you was
answer.
in right direction. The first.
Sweden.
Sweden or Finland?
No, Finland. It's
What one should we go with?
You're in the right region.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so it's not the right country.
No.
It's
Norway. Norwegian.
Is that close though? I feel like it is even the.
Yeah, well,
She got it right. You can't pass. I want to lock in an answer.
Go on,
Norway, Sweden. No, I don't know. What's near there?
every country you said so far.
Yeah, it's gone.
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 Well, we'll give him a clue now that it's over.
Yeah.
What does it begin with?
You might have the beginning of this country. You might have that on a hot day.
That's quite well, right?
What?
Yeah,
And
hot day. Go on.
The beginning of
Oh,
You can put them in your drink.
You can put
on
them
a
in your
hot
drink.
day.
lemon.
Yeah. Mumsy knows about lemon.
Yeah.
What would you put in your drink on a hot day that starts with a country?
There
What?
we go.
No. This is the beginning. Just
There we go.
to cool the drink down.
Iceland.
Hey,
I would never
it made
have
sense in the end, didn't it?
I would never have got that.
Okay, next one.
All right,
Now,
next.
just because you said, actually, I'm giving away too much clues. Just run the
No
flag.
clues, no clues. I'm staying out of this
Okay.
one.
Run the flag.
What is that? That is an
Saudi?
Arabic flag.
Saudi.
That's an Arabic flag.
Egypt.
No, it's not
Whoa,
Egypt.
what was that? Say that again. What was
Say
that?
it again.
Egypt.
Yes, there we
Oh,
go.
it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
And he acted, he said he went there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you been there? You said you've been there.
Yes.
We
Yeah?
have been there.
And we
Yeah.
all got ill.
You did, I didn't.
Oh wait, I've heard that before.
Speak for yourself.
We said you had food poisoning.
Wasn't you on a
Yeah, it
trip?
was just
Or was it the water or the
hygiene
food?
there. We think it was where they weren't washing the cups of the water. So every time you
Oh.
got these disposable cups from the poolside, they just weren't washed properly, and
Oh, wow.
everybody you saw walking around with a drip.
Yeah.
Really?
That bad.
What, so
They
you,
were ill.
and you all
We
got
had
ill as
I
well?
was fine. I think I threw up once, but
We kept on moving.
they
We
they
moved.
had the drips.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Okay, next flag. What have we got?
Bonjour, je m'appelle.
Hey, there we go.
France.
Yes.
Well done.
Confidence.
Would you have got that?
Yes,
Okay,
That's
thank
two
God.
out of three then. That's good. We've got last flag now.
Oh, that's easy. Jamaica.
There we go. 3 out of 4. Well done.
Land of curry goat.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
yes. All right, we've done well.
Is that
3 out.
because we've got in the manor Jamaican cuisine, rice at manor?
No, that is not why.
We've got
That's a
those
nice
colours.
place.
Yeah,
It's a nice
I've never
place.
been, but apparently it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you like Caribbean food?
I actually
Yeah.
haven't
We
had
don't
it
really have it.
enough to like say I like. Yeah, I haven't had it enough.
What's your favourite type of food?
Probably like a Lebanese, like.
Oh, banging.
Yeah, or
Mine's
Turkish.
like I like
Oh,
Thai.
that's my
Yeah,
Thai
yeah,
food,
yeah.
curries, Thai, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's probably Turkish, actually.
Totally.
So Thai, I thought that's my.
It's up there with me as well.
But you?
I can't say Caribbean because I eat.
Joe loves
Yeah.
Joe. That's his favourite.
Yeah.
If you have a takeaway, what would it be? Would you
so
go really
Tris.
bad or would you go healthy?
Yeah, but not takeaways, Chizzy.
I've had too much. Look, it's all showing. It'd just be a Chinese, to be honest.
Chinese, yeah?
Love a Chinese.
Yeah, see, Chinese. I do like Chinese, but it keeps me awake. I wake up in the night because
Yeah.
it's full of salt and sugar.
That's not the sweet drawer doing that, no?
Well, yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it, but it's just, I'd rather not. I'd rather have a curry.
yeah.
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 Definitely. All right.
Well,
then.
I mean, you've done very well there, really. Didn't
Yeah, no. Everything was just tip top and inspirational. I mean,
Great.
just to finish on that, I mean, do you even realise how inspirational you've been
Yeah.
so far?
Thank you. I hope I have been.
Yeah.
I don't feel like. Yeah, I don't feel like you could ever sit there and go, I'm inspirational.
Yeah.
But I want to relate. I want to be that person that other people can relate to. Do you know what I mean? That are going.
And
through-
loads of people say it, loads of people tell me,
Yeah.
I follow your daughter, she's inspirational. I don't know how she does it. I've had women say, gosh, if that was my daughter, there's no way I feel like she would cope the same your daughter's coping.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's definitely
lots
inspirational.
of good feedback.
Thank
You
you.
should be proud of yourself,
Thank
Zoe.
you. No, I actually am. I feel like I dealt with it well on my good days. Like I allowed myself to have my bad days. I don't think I'd be human if I didn't
Do you
like,
feel like-
feel bad. On
Do you
days.
feel like it sort of helps you with, your low days then, yeah?
Yeah,
Like,
you
definitely-
have to grab the good days. That's what you used to say to
Yeah.
me, didn't you? Like grab the good days. So when
Yeah.
you feel like on a good day, I feel like I'd go for a walk and it sounds ridiculous, but I would just breathe in the air and I'd just look at the trees and like take everything in.
Yeah.
But then on a bad day, you wouldn't even get out of bed and you wouldn't
Yeah.
even have that like good experience of just leaving the house. So when you do feel like you want to leave the house, you just grasp it and it helps on the bad days.
And you have to allow the bad days because
You do.
chemo's not meant to be easy. It's
No.
meant to be hard, isn't it? So you have to allow. It's like having a baby. Like sometimes she's crying, oh, she's not settling today. What's gone wrong? She doesn't normally do this. Listen, again, bad days. You're
Yeah.
going to have it. You're going to have bad days. So you have to just allow it. They're all temporary.
Yeah.
And then you move forward.
And do you feel like, because obviously what you're doing on the page, that is for the people as well as yourself. I feel like with what we're doing, it's definitely helped me when I do feel like, say if I'm maybe waking up not having the best of days, knowing that we've got so much
To do for the people.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really helps me just like drive and
Yeah, and
no, we're
snap out
going.
of-
Yeah, we're going now. It's for the people.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And
It's
did
a
you ever
it's
get
a
that?
sense of purpose.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is. It is
Yeah.
a sense of purpose. It is, and I want my daughter to grow up and be proud that I did it. Like I actually got through it when she was like a newborn baby, and I did. When you're in it, you don't feel like you're ever gonna get out of it.
Yeah.
And like, just me sat here talking to you guys, I could never even dream or imagine that I would feel well enough to do this when going through chemo. So some sort of sense it was nice for me to document it so that I could show Ophelia when she's older and just show her like how...
Because sometimes she would cry, like the baby would be 4 weeks old and Zoe's crying. You know, why am I crying? Am I crying because I've just had a baby? Am I crying because there's this mass on my chest and I don't know what it is?
Yeah, it's like too much.
And I said, probably Zoe, you're crying because you're a mum and it's the hormones, and all mums cry, but you just don't see it. On Instagram, there's images, you see girls that look nice in coffee shops and babies. You don't see
aesthetic,
but
isn't
all
it?
those mums
when it
have
comes to
probably
mum life.
all those mums have probably cried in the beginning, but not everybody shares that. I said to her, it's probably one of the most traumatic things you're ever going to go through, having a baby.
The shift from
And I would say you're crying because your hormones and you've just had a baby and she had a C-section, not because you've got the mass. This is normal.
Yeah, it's funny.
having a baby.
It's funny you say that as well, because like even with social media and stuff, if you look at like when people do just gave birth, you see all the pretty side of it.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
I've never seen how like it gets so. I know that you put myself late nights and whatnot.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine it right now because I've never gone through that,
Yeah.
and I never see it on social media. But you see the pretty side.
You just
of
see
it.
the pictures, you see
Which
the
is
mum in
why-
a coffee shop. We went to John Lewis High Wycombe and we went to change the baby's nappy.
Oh, yeah.
And there we were in this room and all these mums come in. I said to Zoe, wow, this is, if ever you're like lonely, just go to John Lewis High Wycombe, go into the toilets and meet mums.
Yeah,
and
they
there's
change.
4 mums, we're all chatting and
Nice.
they were all quite honest as well. They all
Yeah.
said the same thing. Oh my God, it's a nightmare, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's hell, it's this, it's that, it's taken me 2 hours to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So that's...
I felt like because I was ill, I felt like a really bad mum and I wasn't there for her, but I physically couldn't be because I was so unwell. But regardless of having cancer, mums in general, it's like the hardest job in the world. And I feel like for me, it was like, is it the mum life? Is it the cancer? Is it this?
yeah, you're
it's-
getting confused.
Being a mum is a big mental challenge, regardless of being diagnosed with cancer. Like it just made it even harder. But I feel like I was tough on myself in the beginning. I felt like I was almost pushing my own daughter away. I felt like I was like blaming her for everything. I felt like I was like, oh, I haven't slept because of her, but I need to sleep because I've just had chemo, or like. Maybe it's her. Maybe in the beginning, I honestly, I felt like this. I was a bit like, maybe because I got pregnant with her, that's why I got cancer. I felt like I was trying to find any reason that why I got it, and it always
Because they said that you probably got it through the pregnancy, didn't
well,
they?
they said I got
Because
it through
it's
the
an
pregnancy,
aggressive-
but not because of
Really?
the pregnancy.
Oh.
I got it. They reckon it started forming when
In
I was
the
about
pregnancy.
20 weeks pregnant, and I found it at 32 weeks at the size that it was. And the reason why they believed I only had it for like 12 weeks before I found it was because it's an aggressive cancer and it grows that quick.
I was going to say that's quick.
God,
That
Yeah,
was
so had it been there before,
So then I
way
said,
back,
is that because I'm pregnant, I got cancer?
Yeah.
And they said, no, it's unrelated, it's just terrible luck that
Wow.
you got it in pregnancy. So, but in the beginning I was like, it's because I was
But
pregnant.
pregnancy
Yeah.
hormones make things grow anyway. Like when I talk to clients and they share stories, oh yeah, I had a cyst on my breast. It was nothing. There was nothing. It wasn't cancer. But when I got pregnant, it doubled in size. So you do hear if you've got some sort of growth in your body or on your body when you're pregnant, it does grow and double.
They
so
did
maybe,
believe that when they saw the size of it. They was like, you either had this your whole life and it's just grown more now because you're pregnant and that's why you've now found it, or it's an aggressive form of cancer. So
Yeah.
once they said it's aggressive, they was like, you haven't had this long, it's just grown that quick. So,
Okay.
but it kind of gave me peace of mind because I was a bit, I think as well because I was pregnant, a lot of people were saying, you wouldn't have got pregnant if you had cancer in your body, but that's untrue as well.
Yeah.
That's like a really actual uneducated thing to say.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
I could imagine that not being true anyway.
not true.
But it's also
Yeah.
something to think about. But obviously,
Yeah, people think your body's not going to work the way it should if you've
Yeah,
got cancer in your
yeah,
body,
yeah.
but that's untrue.
100%.
Your baby's fine. I had cancer, but she's fine. Like, she's in her own sack and her own thing. Like, she's...
because you were worried because it's
Yeah, I
a blood
was thinking-
cancer.
Yeah.
But you can't... It's not...
Yeah.
You
Gone
can't...
in the placenta or anything like that. You're just.
yeah, it's
you know,
not an infection. Cancer's
No.
to do with your genes. There's a genetic change in your body, which is why you've got cancer.
and they haven't said she needs to get checked, have they?
Nope.
No.
Have they checked obviously your little one.
She's fine. They don't have to. It's if it was breast cancer, for example, breast cancer I think is one of those high risk ones that if your mum's had breast cancer, you need to be screened earlier for breast cancer, because that one I think can be a bit hereditary.
Right.
Yeah.
But lymphoma is just at random. It just happens to people. It's within your lymphatic system. So she'd be fine. I said, what about for future and stuff? And they just said, no, obviously if she has any issues, she'll be taken more seriously because her mum's had lymphoma cancer. But it's not something that we need to check on her and watch her for. It's it's nothing. Yeah.
That's interesting you said that, because I know we touched on prostate cancer before with men, and the link to breast cancer as well. They said like if men have had it, or their brothers or whatever have it, their daughters have a higher risk chance of getting breast cancer from it as well.
Okay.
So that's interesting you said that. But to remove that stigma of like, if you know, not to get pregnant because you've had it.
Yeah.
I think that's important to
yeah, it can scare you. I mean, I can only imagine now if I ever am allowed, like, can have another baby, that I'm going to be nervous.
Yeah, of course.
And the second I'm breathless, I'm going to be like, oh my God, please no. Like, I'm never going to be relaxed now because that's what I've gone through. But it's the same the rest of my life. I'm always going to be like, am I still in remission? I'm going to be counting down the years that I'm cancer free for 2 years now, 4 years now. And I think it's just one of those things, it just takes time to kind of like almost put it to the back of your mind and it not be the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning.
But so do you think that, because in my head I was thinking, okay, maybe that's when therapy would be good.
Yeah.
Because if you say you're cancer free, your people might start relaxing and not ask you as much. I think you're, you know.
Yes.
And then there might be a sense of you feeling like you was on your own.
Forgotten.
Yeah, you've forgotten. And so the therapy would help. But then you just mentioned saying maybe you'd want to forget about it a little bit.
I think it's always going to be with me forever, what I've gone through, and I'm always going to think about it, but I just don't want it to be my first thought every time I wake up.
As time goes on, time does help.
Because at the
doesn't it?
moment, that's all I think about.
In any situation, I think time is a healer,
Time is a
but
healer,
it does.
It's true.
Does help in
But
most
also
situations.
through the page, it would transform into something else, because obviously as soon as you come on the other side of it, instead of going through the battle, hopefully, you know, it's going to be like a transformation of where, you know, you might be speaking on stages to people and going to you know, so
100%. I can see it.
transform.
I can see.
So,
I'll take your job.
Yeah. You can have it. I'm sure you'll do it better than me, Zoe.
Yeah, but I think it's important after you're in remission. It's talking about life after cancer, because again, a lot of survivors feel alone after. People forget, they're just shoved back into work, doing their 9 to 5. No one asks again. People think you don't want to talk about it as well. They think, oh, they're in remission now, they're not going to want to go over it again. But it's a part of me now. Unfortunately, this is my new normal.
Because sometimes you would get anxiety, wouldn't you? As time was going on with the chemo, there was a bit of a pattern. Day 4 was ulcers, day 5 was
I said
headache,
that earlier.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then when we kind of sussed it out towards the latter end of the 2 weeks, so her last 3 days before she was hit again, those were the better days. So that was an opportunity. Occasionally, me and Matt might go out for dinner up the road local, might be gone for like 2 hours. But as time was sort of going on, sometimes she'd be like, oh, where are you going? You can't just leave. Just because I'm coming to the end of it, you know, you can't leave me.
I felt like
they was getting anxious.
I felt like they could see the end, but I wasn't at the end. And even though you do your last chemo, you haven't just done your last chemo, you then have to go through the whole side effects again for the next 2-3 weeks. And it takes time, and some people have lifelong fatigue effects from chemo, or
so making plans would give her anxiety.
Yeah,
so like if you said to Zoe, right, in 4 days' time we're doing this, that would give her anxiety.
Because I feel the guilt if they couldn't go.
I would rather her know right at the last minute, but I would say to her, listen, come the day, and if you're out of sorts, then don't worry, we're not going. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So,
but only because I had a baby. If I didn't have a baby, people could. When you're an adult and you're unwell, you can kind of just be in bed, you know. But I couldn't just be in bed and not have anybody have my daughter.
I would always make sure if we did, she was okay. She had Joe, the baby, and as long as I knew their little unit could cope, then that's fine. I felt comfortable popping out. Or sometimes I would rely on Liana, my other one, and say, look, are you around? We're just going to pop out for 2-3 hours. Are you here tonight? Yeah, I'm here tonight. So it was just a cushion for her, just to have another person.
Yeah.
You're definitely part of the Clean Energy family now, Zoe.
Thank you.
And we really
100%.
do appreciate you coming on today and
Thank
talking,
you.
spreading all your, well, raising awareness to everyone in the
Yeah.
whole world, and obviously talking your story as well. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening are going to be very grateful for all the gems you're dropping.
Yeah.
I've got a few questions for you guys, general questions. Maybe you can do one at a time. What are you most grateful for in life? Mumsy first.
Well, life.
Yeah.
Living and just, like you said earlier, appreciating the trees and the sun and just going for just the basics.
The
Yeah.
small
Basics, not the dinners and the fancy things and just...
I think where I used to put work first. Like I
Yeah.
would work through being ill and having food poisoning. I would never want to let anybody down.
just having your legs, being able to walk,
Yeah. Now I've
go
gone
in that
through something-
street.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
I'm grateful for, like, health is the biggest thing
Yep.
ever. Like, I feel like health is first, family and everything else is second, no joke, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't, you're nothing without your health, like
Yep.
you are.
Yeah.
You can't be a good mother, wife, anything if you haven't got your health, so
Yeah.
it's important. I'm so grateful for my
Yeah.
health.
That is, you know what? Just to reel it back as well. Self-care.
Yeah.
Both of you. Did you feel like?
I let myself go 100%.
Yeah, you did.
So many people...
She looked like she just gave birth.
I literally just existed. I would literally,
Yeah.
right, get that baby out of their room, 6:30. Matt, here's the baby. Sometimes he would take over, right, he's sorting it
It'd
out.
get to 2 o'clock and she'd go, I haven't even brushed my
Haven't even
teeth
brushed
yet.
my teeth.
what
Sometimes
she's-
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I would put everybody else first, the
Yeah.
house, the jobs,
Yeah.
the baby. I literally shower and go. No more little mascara, a little bit of rouge. I would wear the same clothes, washed, put back on, putting on weight, sweet draw. I just looked dowdy,
Yeah, yeah.
a mess. And even some friends would say, God, Joe, you really look, the other day when I saw you, you
Yeah.
really looked tired. And I thought, you're just being polite. Really, what they
Yeah.
want to say is, you looked a mess.
Yeah. Okay, so for someone who was going through a similar situation to yourself,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them? Straight down the camera.
Well, obviously get up and have a shower. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Which I was.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think definitely have your moment. Even if it's 10 minutes, you shut that door, you put the music loud, the TV, because sometimes that helps. Because sometimes I didn't like to hear the baby crying in another room.
Yeah.
It would give me anxiety.
Yep.
Is she okay? What are they doing? Who's like, you know. So yeah, shut the door, 10 minutes, put your TV loud, music, and do your thing.
Yes.
Lovely.
And if you can walk around the block at one point of the day, definite fresh air.
Fresh air.
Yeah,
100%.
fresh air.
That's facts. Okay, that's some good advice right there. And then, okay, so to yourself, Zoe, what would you say your most positive trait is?
Probably my, like, bubbly personality.
Yeah, I'd say.
I feel like I'm just quite a
You're
positive
upbeat,
person.
she's an upbeat.
Yeah, in general. I feel like people
banter.
thrive off that.
Your banter, you're funny.
Yep.
Yeah, the banter's
Oh,
just
thanks.
come out.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say my
Some
personality.
degrees.
Like, I'm quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have a conversation with a brick wall.
Okay.
So-
Is that real?
yes.
Yes, it's real. That is real.
Had that conversation, have
Yeah.
you?
No, we haven't.
Jay built it himself.
Yeah.
It's looking good. What we got? We got the switch it.
Yeah, switch it up.
Switch it.
Go on then.
We was gonna say what is your negative trait, but before you answer, let Mum answer what your negative trait would be, and then you answer what.
Right,
Mum's
so
negative
Zoe's
trait.
negative trait, she can be a bit bolshy and snappy sometimes. She
Yeah.
can snap at you.
Yeah. And then I have a
Why did
conscience-
you do that? Whatever.
Yeah, and I
don't
feel
like it
guilty
like
about
that.
it instantly
Yeah.
after.
So sometimes I say, all right, calm down, don't be bolshy. So sometimes she'll be a bit angry, but I think because of what she's going through, sometimes nothing else matters. Like, I don't care that you're doing that.
Yeah.
I care about what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, and I found actually in the beginning, sometimes when you're trying to talk to friends and family outside the cancer, just about somebody's garden and they planted some plants and you're just having chit chat. Sometimes I couldn't focus on that. I'd be like, I really don't know what you're talking about right now. I can't
Yeah.
concentrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're trying to socialise and do other things, but definitely the first 2 months, I might as well not been there. It's like, It's like, I don't really care what you're saying right now because all I'm thinking about is Zoe and the baby.
You're in like your own little bubble with
it was really
I guess.
hard to have normal conversations.
Yeah.
Well, your trait, negative trait.
Yeah.
Whoa.
How much time have we got? No, I'm joking. Yours is probably when I tell you not to do something, you don't just
don't
say,
listen.
yeah, all right. She doesn't listen. For example, Ophelia had her own beaker with like
Tap water.
No, cool. She has, because she's a baby. She has cooled boiled water, so it's been boiled and that's what she has. She went to give her tap water, even though her beaker was right there, and I said no, and she did it another 4 times. And I said, "Can you stop?" And that's where the bolshiness comes in because she needs it. She needs aggression.
Well, apparently,
Was that focus?
well, apparently tap water's allowed.
No, but if I'm her mum and I'm telling you no,
Yeah.
and she doesn't listen to no anymore. You say I'm
like-
defiant.
Yeah.
You're
I was like,
defiant.
okay.
Then she tried to give her the orange that was in an alcoholic drink. And I said, well, you can't give her the fruit when it's been dipped in
Teach 'em
alcohol.
young.
I was just going to
Teach 'em
let her
young,
lick it.
yeah.
And then went, no, it's been in alcohol. So then she went to get the ice cube out of the alcohol, and I said, not the ice cube either. And she went, no, she can just hold it. I went, she's a baby, she's going to put it in her mouth. So she said,
stop her.
she does that a lot. She doesn't
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her negative trait.
What have we started now?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't listen a lot.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
So on a lighter note, what's Mumsy's most positive trait?
Yeah.
She is just like, she's just everybody's rock. She knows how to just do everything. She gets on with everything. Like the cleaning, everything's on top of her. Like what's the word?
She tells me off when I go to her house to babysit. Right, today you're not doing my chores. Right, I've done everything. Just sit down.
She does too much. For
She's like,
other
you don't
people.
need to be doing
But
other stuff.
It's not a bad
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like an amazing
That's just
trait.
how I am. I just,
Yeah. She
something's got to be done. I just do it.
She
Wash
gets
up,
on
dry
with
up.
things.
Get the job done.
You don't. I was going to say you don't moan, but you do moan but in a in a different way. Like you're just good at everything. Like
Oh, thanks.
yeah,
you
you're
go.
really good at everything. You know how to run a house, be a mum, be a good wife, be a nanny now.
Just lack the empathy side.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I'm a good nan because again, I haven't asked to be a nan. Now I'm a nan. So can I be a nan? I do feel like
Have to be.
yeah, I have to be, and I do feel like I'm quite good at it because
Yeah.
maybe not everybody's good at these things. Not everyone's good at being a mum or dad. You know, all of a
I
sudden.
think my mum is the only person, obviously besides Ophelia's dad, but my mum is the only person that I would give Ophelia to for like a week if I wanted to go on holiday, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't even feel like I'd have to call her
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
like, how is she? Because I know
Yeah,
she's fine.
you would be comfortable.
She's like amazing. She knows.
I think you would let. She
apart from
would,
the alcohol.
she would probably let me and Matt take her away for a week.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would. I
She'd
trust
be
her with everything.
comfortable with us, and
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is nice. Just don't ask too many times.
I won't.
And then Mumsy, what do you think Zoe's positive?
Actually, she surprised me running her own house because she was messy. One of those kids. Zoe, your plate. Zoe. So she surprised me. Yeah. So she's really good at running her household. Probably doesn't wash up as often as I'd like. So sometimes when I turn up, the sink might have stuff.
That's because I know
Yeah,
you're
we're
good.
keeping it
then
positive.
Positive.
We're keeping it
no,
positive right now.
Her
Keep it
age,
positive.
yeah, for a 23-year-old, I think, yeah, running her own house from 21
Yeah.
and a business from there, a baby from there, she has surprised me. She's does it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Smashed it. Go on,
Definitely.
Zoe. We see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We see you. Okay, so last question for you, Zoe.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you mentioned you know, you've had some darker days and thinking about, you've had some darker thoughts sometimes. If someone was struggling with their mental health right now, what piece of advice would you give them straight down the camera?
I would say start off with the cliche, you have to talk to somebody, and obviously for someone like myself who's really open and can go to all family members, all friends, social media, you don't have to be as open as someone like me. Just even a text if you don't want to say it to somebody's face, or a voice note so you can just freely speak, and you could even delete it after. I just feel like saying something out loud is sometimes better than writing it down, because you're physically getting it out of your body. That would be 100% my advice. Just you have to share it somewhere, even if you didn't want anyone to listen to it.
Talk to the wall.
Yeah, voice note, hear it back.
Yeah.
You can kind of like talk to yourself.
Yeah.
If you didn't feel comfortable to share straight away to somebody.
Brilliant.
That's some real gems right there.
Yeah, it is. Definitely going to be using the one with the doctors. That I ain't forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be coming in. You'll be talking to the wall now as well. Shizzy, what are you doing? But
I'm having a conversation. I'm getting it out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I think we've covered a lot today.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Sorry.
Yeah, really good.
You feeling good?
It's like therapy, isn't it?
It is. We've had our own therapy, and I feel like you've spread a lot of wisdom and gems on the people today.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to appreciate that watching this as well.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of information that's going to help everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mum.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. There we go. So we
Brilliant.
appreciate you guys coming on the show. So we've got a little present for you both.
Brilliant.
So there's a nice hoodie for you, Zoe.
Oh my God, it's Mike. Did you do this on purpose?
I got
Mine
you.
and Puma colours.
Come on, of course. I got
Oh my
you.
God, that's
Brilliant.
amazing.
There we go.
I
So that's for
love
you.
that.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And Mum's as well. We've got you a nice
Thank you.
t-shirt as well.
Thank you very
I don't know
much.
great
And
the
you are
colour.
a t-shirt gal.
I
Are you a
am.
t-shirt girl?
And I'm a hoodie gal.
There we go. So
Brilliant. Thank you so
Oh,
Right, you're
much.
welcome.
that's so nice.
no, we appreciate you. So we just wanted
thank
to
you.
give you a
Thanks
little
for
something
having
from
us.
us, and you're part of the Clean Energy family now. So
Yeah, can't wait
Women
to
we got a
see.
record fully.
Thank
Wait
you.
to see all your
Yeah.
episodes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. But yeah, we just appreciate both of you not coming on and
Brilliant.
talking,
Yeah.
spreading your knowledge and wisdom.
Thank
You know what I
you.
mean? We've learnt a lot today as well.
All right. I
Yeah.
definitely did, so.
I mean, since the second I met you, to be honest, Zoe, I've always been learning, especially with the page as well. You made it so easy
Yeah.
to, and educational, and we definitely need more of that in the world. We need
Yeah.
more Zoes in the world.
We do. We
Yeah.
need more
Yeah.
bees.
Yeah.
And do you know what Zoe
Team
means
Zoe.
in Greek?
Tell us.
Tell us.
Straight down the
Tell
camera.
us. Straight down the camera.
It means life.
Life.
You know, picking some good names, no?
Yeah,
Few
you know,
years, no? All right.
yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. Is there, obviously you've come here today and you've experienced what you've experienced here on the Clean Energy Show. Is there anyone in particular that you could think of that you could maybe nominate to come on the show?
Yeah, so my partner's friend Casey, he was your classic, like, grew up with nothing, I believe. And he's built a suit company, like tailoring company from scratch. And he is so successful. He's up and down the country all the time, putting all his clients first, but he's got his own struggles to get there.
Right.
And obviously I won't say too much, but one of his struggles was that his shop actually went on fire, losing thousands of pounds of all his like suit supplies and stuff like that. And then he had to rebuild it all again and pretty much come back from that huge setback. And he's so inspirational. He goes to schools and does big talks. He's so
How did
like,
he start then? From what?
I
Like,
don't remember. I don't know his story exactly, but obviously,
Yeah.
if he went on the show,
yeah,
he would say.
yeah.
But he's just. He is just. I just know he's got a really inspirational.
Yeah. Wow. So that, did you say Casey?
His name's Casey.
Casey, we see you, and obviously Zoe's vouched for you now to come on the show. So
Yeah.
Recommended.
it's your turn to
Brilliant.
jump on the hot seat.
Yeah, he'd be amazing on it.
He's welcome. He's welcome. So Casey,
Yeah, we're
come
coming
with
for
you.
Casey now.
Discount
Come and
on
sit down,
some
brother.
suits. Yeah.
Give us a discount on the suits.
There we go.
Brilliant.
And our last thing we'd want you to do, Zoe, obviously we've got a special guest book here.
Okay.
You can sign it and leave a little message.
Okay.
And
Brilliant.
if you can leave a quote in there, that'd be nice as well.
Yeah.
So my people, we come to the end of the show right now, but we just want to say a big thank you to everyone supporting the show and love. If you can do us a favour and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on all the socials, which you can find underneath in the link below. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Until next time, it's your boy Jay,
It's your boy Trizzy.
and right now you're locked into the Clean Energy Show.
Clean energy. You know it's clean energy. Yeah, we keep it clean with our energy. You know it's clean energy.